Have you ever gone for a drive on highway during hot and clear summer day? If yes, then you must have experienced some patches of water on the road as you drive along. But as you get closer, you don't find any water over there. Then what was that? Was that really water or something else? Well, let us consider another example. We have a man who is traveling in desert and he sees an inverted image of a tree. So this is an inverted image of a tree. Now, in order to form an inverted image, there should be water present on the ground, but when he comes closer, he doesn't find any water over here. So how is he able to see an inverted image? Well, the answer to all the questions is mirage. Mirage is a very beautiful phenomena which is illusory. That means it is not real. So water in this case, water on the road is not real, and this inverted image which is formed because of water is also not real. So mirage is illusory, and mirage is caused, it occurs due to total internal reflection. Okay. Now, in this lecture, we will study what mirage is and how it occurs and what are the conditions necessary for mirage to take place. But before that, we will study total internal reflection first. Okay. Total internal reflection. Let us consider two medias. First is, say, water, and another one is air. Now we'll draw a normal over here. So very first condition for total internal reflection to take place is that light should be traveling from denser to rarer medium. So in this case, we know that water is a denser medium and air is a rarer medium. Alright, now light is traveling from denser to rarer, that means from water to air. So we have this light. Here is angle of incidence. So we know that when light travels from rarer to denser, it bends towards the normal, and when it travels from denser to rarer, it will bend away from the normal. So in this case, it will bend away from the normal. So this is light and this is the original path of the light. But since it is deviating away from the normal, so this will be the refracted path of the light, and this is the angle of refraction. Okay. Now, if we increase this angle of incidence, what will happen to the angle of refraction? Yes, angle of refraction will also increase. Okay, so let me draw another diagram. We have air-water interface. This is water and here is air, and we have drawn a normal here. So say, let us call this as I1 and this will be I2. So we have increased I, let us call it as I2, and I2 is greater than I1. Okay, so this is the original path of the light and this is the refracted part of the light. Now this is angle of refraction. Let us name it as R1 and R2, and R2 is also greater than R1. Alright. Now if we keep increasing this angle of incidence, what will happen to the angle of refraction? Angle of refraction will also increase. Okay, but at some particular point, for some particular angle of incidence, there will be no refraction taking place. because this angle of refraction will go on increasing, and for a particular angle of incidence the light will travel through air water interface. So let me draw another diagram for that. We have a normal water and air. We have this angle called IC. So for this IC there will be no refraction taking place, but the light wave will be traveling through the air water interface. So the angle of refraction is equal to 90 degree. Okay, and this IC is known as critical angle. Alright, now if we increase the angle of incidence and make it more than critical angle, then what will happen? Light will be total internally reflected. Yes, so again we have I, which is greater than IC, so light will be total internally reflected. So this is R. Now this phenomena is known as total internal reflection. So what are the conditions for total internal reflection to take place? First is light should be traveling from denser to rarer medium, and second condition is I, that is angle of incidence, should be greater than the critical angle, that is IC. Okay, now we have understood what total internal reflection is. Now we will see what is the connection between total internal reflection and mirage. Okay, so we have a hot summer day. So during hot summer day, what happens is air near the ground level is very hot. So we have this ground, and air near this ground level will be very hot. But as we move upward, temperature will decrease. Okay, temperature decreases as we move in upward direction. Now so atmospheric air will have different temperatures depending upon the height from the ground. So the ground level is very hot, so let us divide atmospheric air into different layers. So ground level is very hot. Let us draw another layer, and this layer is medium hot. Now we will draw another layer which is cold, and then it is very cold. Okay, so sun. Okay, so we will have to keep few points in mind, and those are hot air has higher density. Why hot air has higher density? Because particles present in hot air will gain thermal energy and they will expand. The air will expand, because of which particles won't be placed close to each other, because of which density will be less. So hot air is less dense. Okay, and what happens in cold air? In cold air, particles won't have enough thermal energy, so they won't expand much. So particles will be very close to each other, which will make it denser. So it is more dense. Alright. Now we know that refractive index is the measure of bending of light. So less dense air will not be able to bend the light much, so the refractive index for less dense air will be less. It has less refractive index, and cold air has high refractive index. Okay, so here what we understood from here, refractive index will increase as we move in upward direction. Okay, so this upper layer is denser, and this layer which is at the ground level is rarer. So the sunlight coming from the sun will be traveling from denser medium to rarer medium. Okay, so what will happen? We have already understood what total internal reflection is, so let us apply those concepts over here. We'll draw a normal here. Here we have incident ray. Okay, this incident ray will be refracted, will be uh, deviated away from the normal. So this is the original path of the light, and it will deviate away from the normal, and now it is incident on the another layer of the light, on the layer of the air. Again, let us draw normal over here. Now this is the angle of incidence. Now the angle of incidence has increased as compared to the previous layer. Okay, now this is the original path of the light. It will again bend. Now let us draw another normal over here. Now I have drawn only 4 layers, but the air will consist of thousands of layers. Okay, now the angle of incidence will keep on increasing, and at a particular layer or at the particular angle of incidence, what will happen? I will be greater than IC. Okay, so angle of, let us consider this is the layer for which I is greater than IC. So here say I is greater than IC. So what will happen when I is greater than IC? Total internal reflection will take place. So this light ray will not be refracted, but it will be reflected back into the same medium. Okay, now so this is how mirage is related to total internal reflection. Now, why a person sitting in a car is able to see water on the road? So here is a light ray coming from the sun, and it is reflected back from one of the layer of the air, and he sees water on the road. Now why is he able to see the water? Because this illusion comes from the fact that human mind assumes light to be traveling in a straight path. So according to him, this light ray is traveling in a straight path. So what he sees on the road is not water, but mere reflection of light. Thank you.